Hi, Ash.
How are you?
I'm doing okay today. Yeah, still in these four walls, but making the most of it and decorating my walls as well with light. That's quite an adventure.
Absolutely. I see you are very branded today, and I'm loving the Kit Cards hoodie and your background. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have a hoodie, so I do have an awesome deck of cards here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm excited to play with them. But
You
I
also
would like
do
to
have an
get a
awesome
hoodie.
background.
Thank you. Yes, it's very beautiful. A charity shop find. It was a real stunner. I love finding quirky things in the
Yeah,
places you'd least expect. So, yeah.
lovely. So today, do you want to introduce what we're doing, and then I'll facilitate it, and then
Yeah, we can too. Okay. So I am, James and I today are going to be playing with some kit cards, which is awesome. So I have had a deck for ages. I actually already use them, but I don't use them probably in the way I should. I don't know as much about them as I would like. So that's why we thought it would be a great idea to have this chat. The way I use them at the moment is I have a diary and I use a particular card and then kind of reflect on whatever the question is. Probably do that about once a week. But I find it really helpful for me just to think about things in a different way. But I know that there's so much power in this pack. So that's why I would love to find out what I'm missing and actually play with them with someone. So that's why we kind of thought it would be fun to do this.
great. There's no wrong way of using them, and I think you're getting some good value from them. What I do is what you can do within the facilitated sessions. So somebody outside of your business can come in and help you work through your ideas. I'll be the facilitator for this, so I will try and step back, let you have your ideas flow. If ever it gets to the point where they're not coming as they should, I can step in and kind of give you throw a few questions around. So this is my innovation tool for businesses. It was actually launched officially at Startup Week last year, so it's officially 1 year old right now, which is great.
So hang on a second, it's your birthday today.
It's kind of a birthday, I guess.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
stop interrupting, but that is so cool. Okay.
So it's a deck of poker-sized cards. There are 7 instruction cards. There are 3 discussion cards. They help you keep discussion on track if you're in a team. There are 4 aspect cards, which help give you different angles once you get familiar with how the cards work. But the main beef of them is those which are question cards, prompt cards. So there are 42 of those in the deck. They've each got a guided discussion on. So you sort of work through, pull through your ideas. The idea is it helps you see stuff that you wouldn't necessarily already see. The idea is to kind of go thinking in spaces that are not already in your head. So the objective is to find your second answer to things, your third answer. So what we do is we'll play this. We'll see how you go with them, and we'll maybe talk about what happened, how they worked at the end of that. So, right, let's go. If you want to shuffle your question card deck, so the red back, if you want to separate the red back ones and give those a bit of a shuffle, and then pick one at random.
Okay, I've just thought I didn't introduce myself. So I am Ash. I'm Ashleigh King, and I have a business called Days Like This Are Sweet Creative Consultancy Limited, which is a long thing. I wish going back that I'd made it shorter. Actually, my whole business was around events and creative industries, and connecting charities with fundraising and just helping people to get more visible. So it started all in events, and then it became social media as well, and communications, marketing. So I guess the thing to tell you is that with this lockdown, I have been really struggling in terms of my entire business model has changed. But that's great because it means there's so much opportunity for improvement and adaptation. So, some of my business that's like online communications or social media management is still there, but I have started I already podcast, but I've started working on a podcasting course for beginners, and that's kind of where I'm going to be interested in playing from today. But who knows what the cards will bring? Perhaps other things will, come through. So that's just a bit of I guess some help for you knowing where my context is.
Definitely. So what sort of structure do you have for this podcast course so far? Tell me just a very, very little bit about it.
Absolutely. So I've decided to use a tool called Simplero, which is an online e-learning platform. I have a Facebook group as well, so people can get some extra added value and discussion place in there. And I also have rounded up around 90 people to be testers, just to validate the market and my assumptions. So that's where I'm at now. And yeah, there's already been some challenges, and we can play with those, but mainly just things like tech stuff, or sometimes people are not getting the emails. So I'm using this fabulous integrated tool that saves me lots of money. So I don't have to have a CRM and MailChimp and all these different things. But sometimes things are going wrong already. And that's exactly why I wanted to test everything before it went to market properly. So that's my context.
Great. So I'll pick one, and the one that I want to pick is number 491. So you probably shuffled them all up, so they're not in order, but it's called First Class Service. Okay. I'll give you, if you can find that one from the deck, that would be helpful.
Wow, these are so good for me right now in my situation. I love that. I actually think I'm going to go through all of these when I'm on my own and work through them because they're really powerful. Okay, First Class Service.
Just want to find this is the website. There's each card is online, and there's a web address on the back of the cards, and there's a bit more information, sometimes links and videos and stuff. So that's where I'm pulling this from at the moment.
Okay.
All right, you got First Class Service.
Yes.
So I like this one a lot. This is about trying to put everything into it. Forget all your constraints. Put everything into service for one person, one individual. Don't worry about how problematic that would be. Just kind of imagine what an amazing service you could give for just one person if you had unlimited resources. And from that, the idea is that you can maybe pull back from that huge lofty goal that's going to be unachievable and bring back some really good stuff from that. So let's try that. So pick a single specific customer and design an ultimate experience around them. So what I want you to do is to think about one of your, what do you call them? Coursees, shooties.
I guess they would be learners at the moment, they testers, but yes. Yeah, I guess, so, yeah, a learner.
Imagine one learner, and imagine you could do anything to make their experience amazing. Like, don't put any limits on that at all.
Okay.
So you full focus on the customer, profit is not considered, and that your resources are unlimited.
Okay, so I think I can go with this one. So good. I'm going to go with the avatar in my mind about a coach. So it's going to be busy female coach. So what I want for this person, they'll have seen me maybe a few times on my Nurture Your Zest podcast online. They will want to set up something that's going to attract visibility to their coaching services. And what they want is something that's going to be really smooth and efficient for them and teach them everything they need to know, because they don't have the time to get everything set up and they just want to be fast tracked. So they're happy to pay a premium as well, because they want everything that they can get. So in this instance, what I would really want to do for this customer is make sure that whether it's through seeing me on my website or adverts, that I just come across really natural and authentic and someone that they would trust and want to work with. And then I feel that the sales process that they go through would be really easy, so they can find the things that they're looking for. So for example, it might be actually when they buy their course, it could be that they have the opportunity to buy that notebook we spoke about earlier, so that they have all the course materials. They don't have to actually sit and print them out, or sit and download them, or try and edit something that's a PDF, and it can be quite difficult to do. They can just get that delivered to their house or to their Kindle or whatever it might be. I would love to be able to have a pack, maybe like wholesale kit, like sound kit. So my sound stuff, like my headphones, my mic, my pop shields, everything cost me less than £80, because that's what I could afford right now in the lockdown. But other people are spending up to 10k. But for me, it's working really well. So I would want to be able to give them a really accessible way to just buy the kit then and there. Everything they need is going to turn up in a box, rather than them having to go through lists and Google all sorts of things. So I already have things like that. I have recommended equipment, but if they could just buy it from me and it would just arrive to them, almost like drop shipping, that would be great. I would love that, all of their invoice and their password and login details is all sent to them, fully automated. They don't miss out on the emails, which is what I'm struggling with at the moment. They get all the emails. They get a series of really thoughtful and meaningful emails. So it's not just, doesn't feel, like all about me, but it's more about them and how I can help them. And they are able to find my groups online. They're able to go in and know where everything is. It's fully structured. It's really powerful. They can see what the learner journey is, and they can see how they would fit into that and what they need to do. And I want it to be so slick that they go, wow, this is amazing. I'm actually really excited about this. I am going to go and block time out in my diary for this, or I'm going to go and tell my friends. But ultimately, what I really want them to do is to be able to launch their podcast and reach new people and really share their message with the world. So ultimately, at the end of it, I would love to have them featured on my website as, this is our Hall of Fame of podcast enthusiasts, or whatever it might be called. I don't know. I'd have to think about some branding around that. But, actually have like a success story, but also a way to celebrate them. So it might be that I send them a little pin in the post, you're part of our podcast learner alumni, or whatever it might be, something that makes them feel special and like they've really achieved something. So yeah, just really as slick as possible and just time saving. But I feel, you said don't worry about the restraints, which is why I've gone for it with that. I'm very mindful in the back of my mind, well, you really struggle with structure, so how are you going to get there?
So don't worry about absolutely don't worry about any constraints. And I'm going to take that further. So what you've described is an A-class service, or an A+ class service. I want you to take that up to AAAA plus, whatever they do on eBay nowadays, or S rank, right up there. Imagine you had one person to look after, you had unlimited time to look after them yourself, you could do anything for them, you had unlimited money, you could go around to their house and sit with them and do the podcast, all that sort of stuff. What sort of service would you give to help them achieve what they want to do?
There's so much. I would want to connect them with people who could help them. So, because I know that they've got this beautiful skill of coaching. So I'd want to kind of go, right, here's the list of people that help me. Here are my editors. Here are my branding people. I can arrange a call for you. It's all complimentary. It would be great if you could come on my show and I can help you get visibility, get reach. I can help find potential places that you can guest on, or maybe I could offer them some sort of agency service, or just alleviate some of the stuff that they might get stuck with, so that they can go and create their message. I feel like that's a really hard one. How do you go even? I would love to send them something like, if it was a dream, we spoke about if money wasn't an option, I mentioned about this product line. I would love to send them like a goodie basket of like well-being stuff, like this is a way for you to cultivate your curiosity, to be creative, to be courageous, be visible, and get your message out there, to find inspiration and to nurture your zest, so that they actually received a box of goodies, candles and vegan chocolate and whatever it might be, just really lovely things that just light them up and make them feel special?
So I'm going to just pause here and say, I think this feels like something you haven't thought about actually doing as part of the process before, and it feels like something that's like your eyes kind of lit up a bit when you're talking about it, and I don't think that's unachievable with where you are now. I think you can still send. It might not be that you can send the exact care package that you're thinking about, but you could still welcome them with a care package of something, right? So the idea is to do that thinking, to think way, 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 way big, to get somewhere you hadn't thought of before, and to bring that back, and you can actually find something that you can use. Does that resonate?
Yeah, I love that. So there is something I could do that isn't that expensive. Again, right now, we're not talking about constraints, but it's something I would need to get some capital for. But I love working with independent artists. I've got some great connections, and I have this idea of getting some cactuses from Amazon or a garden center ideally, but you can get them, I know, on Amazon, and Amazon's one place that's delivering at the moment. Many places aren't. But actually get a series of cactuses delivered to my artist, who would then also paint some pots in a very particular style that fits my brand. And so that when people then join the program, they get sent a little cactus in a pot. So it's like, so that as that, or it doesn't have to be a cactus, perhaps there could be some seeds or wildflowers, so that as their podcast grows and their idea grows, they grow with me on the journey. And I think that would then remind them, oh wow, my seeds are growing here. So my story and my ideas growing, and I think that is a more accessible way. If we dial it back even smaller in a way that I can afford right now, then yes, I could probably send people some wildflower seeds that were branded.
Wouldn't that say something?
Yes, it would.
Like just that sort of thing of surprise and delight is something very special, I think. And you capture. I think you're right. I think you kind of capture the idea of that big thing in that small thing. And it also gives you a little bit of a touch point, talking point in the future.
These are very powerful, James. I'm sitting here like, there's so much going on in my mind right now.
So this is where I want to get to. So I think for the previous card, I think we explored some stuff. For this card, I think we've started going into territory you haven't been in before, and that's, I think, where the real power lies, and what I want people to recognise. It's hard to get across. Okay, so that's great. Do you want to continue some more with this card? I sort of paused that, but I'd be happy to talk about it some more, see if we can think of other things.
I mean, yeah, let's explore the rest of the card. I do feel like I love this idea of the A+ service, and that was really hard for me, but I really like that. It's helped me come up with this idea of actually sending something, because that was always a dream, but I didn't know how to incorporate it. But yes, I would love to have like maybe retreats or these creative events I spoke of, where maybe some of the cohort can come together or speak on stage or whatever it might be. So yes, that is part of the the top tier dreams, but I do find this helpful, and I think there'll probably be, is there anything else on this card maybe that we need to talk about, or that slightly different perspective on it?
And we kind of moved through, for that one specific idea, we moved through to the end of the card, which was consider which processes and feelings you might be able to bring across to your current offering. I think we did that. I think there's probably still quite a bit around this idea of just taking one person and really getting in deep with what they want to achieve. That if you had unlimited resources, you could spend 3 months going out for coffees with them and figure that out as you kind of dream thing, and then actually you could bring that back to something a bit more realistic with a more automated process. I think there's a lot of stuff like that. I'd love to do some more. I'm very conscious that we've spent a good chunk of time. So I think, if you don't mind, I'd like to leave that as an exercise for you.
Yeah, please give me homework. I love homework.
I think that's a very definite good thing to play around with.
Yeah, and I think as well, homework's good too, or exercises to leave me with, because it might leave whoever's watching this, with something that they feel they can take away or that's actionable. And on that note, I know I'm very fortunate. I've already got a pack of kit cards. But I just wondered if, for those who haven't got a pack yet, how can they get one? Because they are really powerful.
Sure, the sales bit. If you go to www.kick.cards, it's all there. And I sell packs of them. I dispatch them at the moment about once a week, and Royal Mail's taking a bit longer than it used to do, but I've got a nice packaging flow, and I just drop them through the local letterbox, and everything's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah, so www.kick.cards.
But you can also sign up for a series of emails where you'll get to test some of the cards out, which is pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, you're a bit on top of this than I am. Yes, so the website has a thing called Kit Club, which is basically I appreciate that these cards are a little bit difficult to understand the power of them without actually seeing them. So there are 4 examples of cards on the website you can see on the front page. If you sign up for Kit Club, which is a free thing, you just put in your email address, it'll send you 3 months of cards once a week on a rotation. So that's quite a lot of content. And then if you buy the deck of cards, there's a little code on the front that lets you unlock the whole deck, and you'll have the whole 42 coming to you on a rotation. So yeah, you can play with the content for free, definitely.
Perfect. Well, yeah, that was great. I think that was probably more than we wanted to say, wasn't it? So thank you everyone for watching, and I really enjoyed that. Oh my gosh, I love that. It is so good. I've come away with so much learning. So on that note, let's say goodbye to our listeners.
Bye.
Hello everybody, I'm Ashleigh King, and I have just had a Kit Card facilitated session with James Rutherford from Kit Cards, and I just wanted to share a testimonial with you because I have loved that. It was so fun. So I already had a pack of Kit Cards, and these are brilliant because it's a box full of these fabulous questions that really help you to think about your business and your business journey. So if you see here, there's a whole bunch of them, you can flick through and think about different ones. The thing I found really powerful with these cards is, we played 3 of them, and actually it was really amazing because I already had this set, so I have been using them with a notebook, and I've been answering the questions, one at a time in my notebook and thinking about them, and really working through them in a reflective way. But actually having someone to bounce ideas off and to talk to, and having that extra person and their perspectives being really helpful, especially since James is a facilitator and created the cards. It was really, really powerful. The card that we looked at was design a first class experience. So I found that incredible because I have thought about my business in lots of ways. There's a lot of things in my head that I know, and I know what I want and that kind of thing. But with this one, I felt completely lost, actually. I actually felt like my whole body went into this state of like feeling awkward, as in like, I don't know, I'm really stuck here. How do I answer this? And I think that's really important because sometimes we think we know things, or we research things, or we read stuff at very much a surface level, but going to that depth of what does that really mean, is really powerful. So yeah, I felt like my whole body changed. I actually was taken from one space to another where I was just really thinking in a very deep and unique way. So the thought and the reflections, I mean, we talked about a first class experience. So it was about providing for my customers, if money wasn't a problem, if resources weren't a problem, if skills weren't a problem, what would you love to deliver? And actually we were able to get to like hugely high ambitious goals, but then bring it right back to something I can do right now that's very simple, that I hadn't thought of before, and it's actually affordable. So, but it will make a big impact for my customers. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that you would love to check these cards out as much as I love them. They are so powerful. They're like a little pack of just the most fabulous prompts. I found them really useful, and actually having that session now is going to help me to use them in a completely different way. And yeah, I really can't say how great that was. And I feel like I'm going to have to go away and think so much about this incredible new stuff that's in my head from playing these cards. So thank you so much, James, for that session and for making this amazing product, because they are so powerful. Thank you.